Chicago police say large groups of teenagers have been committing robberies since the weather warmed up. We are digging into that warning and how it ties into the safety message Mayor Lori Lightfoot shared just on Friday. CBS 2's Tara Molina is live in Uptown with the latest on where the robbery happened. 3 teenagers were connected to the robbery there. Tara?
Jim, CPD brought 3 teens into custody in connection to the robbery of a woman here on Sheridan in the Uptown neighborhood just last night. Police say those 3 teens took cash from her and proceeded to punch her here.
Damn, Tara Molina. All day you reporting on the same people doing the crime. And I often talk about the anchors because they're a big part of the story. Their indifference. Because we know they know how to show emotion when a brother gets killed by a cop. It's op-eds, it's off script. It's, well, let me just say this. It's you know, talking about how it's the worst thing that ever happened in the history of mankind. That some black junkie got killed while resisting arrest. Being arrested for a violent crime, a history of career criminality. And yeah, okay, it's a bad thing. But can we get an op-ed about these other things? Can we get you going off script about these other things? And I'm not here to pick on Tara Molina. It's just the fact that she's she's in Chicago. And she's always like on the ground, on the street at the scene of the crime. She's a good reporter. And you can see it in her face. That she just like, God, it's always these daggone Wakandans.
Jim, CPD brought 3 teens into custody in connection to the robbery of a woman here on Sheridan in the Uptown neighborhood just last night. Police say those 3 teens took cash from her and proceeded to punch her here. The robbery involving 3 teens in the Uptown neighborhood comes as Chicago police warn people about group robberies here in Grant Park and Millennium Park, too. Teens 14 to 20 who surround people to steal from them through what CPD calls use of force, at least twice in the past week. They're not the first incidents involving groups of teens we've seen this past month. CBS 2 has tracked damage and disturbances downtown for weeks. Issues continuing into the weekend, despite the mayor's call Friday for the safest summer in history.
We look forward to having the safest summer in the history of the city of Chicago.
Is this woman out of her mind? You don't get the safest summer by just saying it. They really done drove this woman crazy in this test. Now she's just going to declare it. We're going to have the safest summer in what? And I can tell she's losing it because one thing politicians don't do. They're very shrewd. They don't make proclamations and guarantees unless they're very small and they can live to. We're going to cut crime. And then they say, crime went down 2% this year. I cut crime. You want to make a bold proclamation like that during the most bloodiest year in America since the 90s? All of a sudden, in the summertime, the people in your city who are doing this the most, the people of the sun, are going to act like they got some sense and stop killing each other and stop robbing people in the summertime. Because you said so. She must got a genie. A genie must have visited her. And she got 3 wishes. Even the damn genie will go back in the damn... the genie will go back in the vials. He'll be like, oh, nah, I can't do that. Genie be like, you know what? I'm getting a little too old for this stuff. All right, I give you 4 wishes. You tell the genie you want Chicago to have a safe summer. The genie gonna say, all right, so in honor of Pride Month, we got a Pride Month special. 4 wishes. Now you get 4 wishes. But I can only guarantee 3 of them. Are you kidding me?
We look forward to having the safest summer in the history of the city of Chicago.
We're going to continue to dig into that message and these incidents. But for now, in their warning for the community about these robberies and these disturbances, Chicago police say be aware of your surroundings. And if you see anything suspicious, don't hesitate to report it.
Better advice would have been be aware of your surroundings. And if you see anything suspicious, bolt. Be out. Jet. Go ghost. Report it. You pull out your phone and, oh, look, you got an iPhone. Let's go get that. Report it. If you out and you see some damn people of the sun, leave. Period. Especially if they're young. If you see some young sun people, leave. I shouldn't have to leave. Okay. All right. Don't leave it. So, what does this look like on the ground? 15 armed robberies in 9 hours overnight as Chicago PD again orders detectives to sit in cars rather than investigate crime. So all those crimes, now you know Chicago only has 9% of their homicides are solved. They have a 9% clearance rate. So that means 91% of the homicides, they don't have a suspect. They don't have charges. They don't have any of that stuff. They only have charges, not even convictions, but just charges and a suspect in custody or someone's been charged in only 9%. That's not the conviction. That's not the conviction rate. That's just charges. So it's very easy to kill people in Chicago. One of the easiest things to do is to kill somebody in Chicago. It's probably easier to do that than to steal a candy bar. The success rate's probably higher. And for robberies, it's even higher. Okay? So you had 15 armed robberies in 9 hours. And now the detectives who are charged to investigate these crimes now have to sit in their cars and basically just sit in the street in their cars and watch and hope, and surveil the streets. Just like I showed you, man. People of the sun have to be surveilled 24/7. If you can't, it's like babies, it's like my little baby, my daughter. You have to watch her 24/7. If you take your eye off of her, she has something in her hand she ain't supposed to have. She'll be crawling in the edges. You gotta watch her 24/7. And that's how people of the sun are. Armed men committed at least 15 armed robberies and a carjacking between Thursday evening and sunrise Friday, in a crime wave that stretched from the South Loop to Streeterville to Lincoln Square to Rogers Park. No arrests have been made. Okay? It's very easy to commit crime in Chicago. And think about it. Now, it's very easy to commit crime in Chicago, And they had the defund the police movement, led by Black Lives Matter and activists. And they just had the Adam Toledo thing with the little kid got shot. The incredible spree unfolded hours before every Chicago Police Department detective assigned to handle robbery cases will again be ordered to spend the weekend sitting on street corners to maintain visibility rather than investigating crimes. This is how you fight crime, though. Programs and shit, rec centers, midnight basketball. All the Goonies gonna do is turn the rec center into a gangster's paradise, a hangout for thugs. All they gonna do with the program is somebody will use it for fraud, violence interrupters. They may be able to squash a beef here and there. In a city like Chicago, it's 100 beefs. It's 100 little streets going at other streets. It's so many beefs you can't even keep up with it. So you have detectives sitting in their cars. And this is what it looks like. All those crimes in that one area. Wow. In 9 hours. According to police records, the robbery streak began at 9:10 p.m. yesterday when a man got out of a dark blue Ford Fusion and robbed a woman at gunpoint as she walked her dog in the 1900 block of North Hudson in Lincoln Park. That's a white woman. Minutes later, the same offenders robbed a man at gunpoint near Seminary and George in Lakeview. That's a white man. Investigators have determined that the Ford Fusion was recently carjacked in southwest suburban Blue Island. But those were just the beginning. Between 12:45 and 7:15 a.m. Between 12:45 a.m. and 7:15 a.m. 3.5 hours. Police responded to at least 13 calls of armed robberies involving men who jumped out of vehicles with handguns. So you have to understand, this is the lead. They buried the lead. You had 13 robberies in 3.5 hours, not 15 in 9 hours. Throw them other two away. You had 13 robberies in 3.5 hours by the same crew. At 2:45, 4 men robbed a woman at gunpoint outside a hotel on the first block of East Grand. The crew then fled in a blue car. The same car was used by 4 men who robbed 2 people at gunpoint outside Walgreens on North Wells in Old Town at 3 a.m. At 3:12 a.m., 2 construction workers were robbed at gunpoint by 4 men who got out of a Ford Fusion with handguns on the corner of North Avenue and Through. Wow. About 10 minutes later, 4 men got out of a car and robbed a man at gunpoint as he sat in a car on the 1600 block of West Belmont in Roscoe Village. Minutes after that, 4 men jumped and robbed a victim on Irvin Park Road near Ashland Avenue. The 2 men got out of a blue sedan and robbed a man at gunpoint on the 4800 block of Northwestern in Lincoln Square. Shortly before 4 a.m., 4 men got out of a blue vehicle and robbed a victim on the 1800 block of West Peterson. The robberies moved downtown, according to police. Oh my God. So they just jump running around. jumping out of cars. They just running around jumping out of cars. They're riding around seeing people. They go a person, they jump out, rob them. They go a person, they jump out, rob them. And the people in Chicago, the law-abiding citizens can't carry guns because the gun laws are strict. So it's basically like shooting fish in a barrel. It's like skeet shooting. Wow. It's like going hunting at the zoo. They have an unfair advantage. And they know it. Get in the comment section, like, subscribe, donate, peace, I'm out.